Hi, this is BierPens with today's news headlines and my views on it. Please like or dislike the video, subscribe to the channel. Busy growing into this YouTube broadcasting. It's becoming fun. The ANC elders is not happy with Zuma and the groups as diverse as corruption was, and even the AA is standing up against his firing of Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan. Some people feel that we should joke about it to get it over and done with. But even this cartoon depicts a very sinister, or portrays a very sinister state capture by the Guptas. They are clearly here to enslave our children through economic. Criticism alone no longer sufficient. It is clear that the removal of Minister Gordhan is irrational, self-serving and not based on performance or dedication towards the interests of the South African. This is what Nessa has to say about it. I've shared all this on my Facebook profile for those who want to pick up the links. Makes for very interesting reading. Scary but interesting. Here we've got an honest ad from the South African government on how they spend our tax money. Let's see if we can have a look at this ad and if it makes any sense to us. From ENCA.
It's in the South Advert lately where the government is spending tons of taxpayers' money to tell the taxpayer how they're using taxpayers' money. How does that work? If the government was using taxpayers' money properly, hospitals would be working and textbooks would be delivered on time. You wouldn't have to advertise to convince us. We would see the service delivered with our own time. Why don't you guys just be honest with us and tell us how you really spend the money? Bastard. We as the South African government, we would like to thank you, the taxpayer, because without you, we wouldn't even have this blue light brigade. Why would I have to sit in traffic? You, the taxpayer, you always make sure that we are accommodated in the best hotels in the world. We travel first class. I mean, what is a 77 doing in economy class? Huh? Randy and Goldie. If it was not for you, the taxpayer, I, Honorable Mazengos, that's me, would be living in an ordinary house. But with your money, we can renovate our house so that we can live like kings. Saunas, tennis courts, everywhere. Good times.
This is just upsetting my day.
But some of you people,
let's first pause it.
Strikes, you don't even have to pay tax. How?
You can go and watch the video on my profile. Then I'm very excited. I'm starting a fishing channel, fishing report as well. Anybody that has got some fishing news to share with us can WhatsApp me on 083 584 7473. Beautiful picture of a cannon just been fired on a tank as the projectile leaves the muzzle of the cannon. Gordhan, ek moedig onbeskaamd massa optrede aan. Gordhan say we must mobilize in our. This is typical my sympathy as well. Is why are the whites to blame for everything that goes wrong in the country when the spoils of apartheid that should have been equally shared amongst everybody has landed up in the hands of a few. Now in shacks like that you'll find DSTV, you'll find well furnished bedrooms and lounge suites fully carpeted. The wardrobes will be lined with Woolworth, Edgars and Truworths clothing. It's amazing how the people can hide the money from the public eye and still plead poverty. Then there's many people on social media that has gone with the outcry. Monday should be a Black Monday. We should all mourn for the mistakes that President Zuma is making right in the face of our country. But I think the anarchy that is being roaming the streets in the form of xenophobia and armed robberies and cash and transit heights, it's all to force President Zuma's hand so that the country doesn't fall into anarchy. And we'll have to stand against it. We'll just have to take hands and stand against the anarchy that is planned for our country. We cannot allow it. We cannot let our children be enslaved, and we cannot let South Africa be turned into the next Iran. We are not that type of community. We must stop it. Now, it's not my place to talk down on a minister that has achieved the position of Minister of Finance, but this gentleman has got a clear social problem. You cannot dress as a pilot if you're not a pilot. You're making a fool of yourself. Now, the Organisation Against Tax Abuse has called on every South African citizen to make it their duty to come up in mass actions to stop President Zuma from signing away our treasury to the Guptas. We have to stop him. Everybody wants to know how this minister stayed in her portfolio. She made the biggest mess. She put the most pressure on the poorest people of this country with the SASA debacle. Why is she still filling the portfolio? She keeps on missing constitutional court deadlines. You cannot have a country's poorest people at ransom and bully them the way this lady has been doing since 2012. We must also get rid of her. It's not good for the stability of the economy. We'll never be able to help the poor. It doesn't help to make everybody poor. Who's going to help the poor people if everyone is poor? Dlamini Zuma is SASA. She is the head of SASA. She represents SASA, but she blames SASA for the problem. Ma'am, really, with honesty in my heart, I don't believe that you believe that the voters is that stupid to believe you. The DA calls on the ANC to instate a vote of no confidence in the president. They say they'll support anybody that the ANC push forward as the leader of the ANC if they institute a vote of no confidence against President Zuma. What if the ANC decides they take Patabile Dlamini and push her as the next state president? That's a very open-ended negotiations, Mr. Miyamani. For those that doesn't know it yet, I post all the links and all the proof that the Guptas is behind this whole thing. because we even find the company, the PR company, the public relations company that they hired in England to come and create this mess for us and our children. We don't need to stand for this, people. We need to get out there and stop this from happening. This is our country. We've come from colonialism. We've beaten apartheid. It's now time to beat the Guptas. We call on everybody to do everything possible within the guidelines of the law to stop the Guptas. SACP calls for the Guptas' residency rights to be withdrawn. If we can get that right, we've won half of the war. This is the new team that stands behind Jacob Zuma in hijacking the treasury. President Zuma didn't even have the audacity to fire the previous people. They got SMSs. These people weren't even interviewed. They were notified by telephone call. Thank you, Jacob Zuma. You made fools of our democracy. This is the type of anarchy we're fighting at the moment. On this video, a cash and transit security guard was shot dead. We are making videos of this now. The same as in Sierra Leone, the same as Iran, the same in Kuwait, Iraq. What has become of our country? That this is what we do video footage of daily. We have police officers, Metro and SAPS, which has no respect for other people's life that they share the road with. This lady has gone right into oncoming traffic, just flashing her lights. No reason for a blue light chase, nothing. She was just in a rush to get from point A to point B. Unacceptable. Another video of the anarchy that I'm talking about. Things that hits our street on a daily basis. This is what we share on Facebook nowadays. I don't even want to watch it. He pulls his hammer out. He hits the window twice, 3 times, 4 times. And now the crowd gets together and they start kicking the window, because after 6 hits with the hammer, he couldn't break through the glass, but now they're in. This is total anarchy, people. We don't need to stand for this. One little smile that can make us all proud. This is, for almost 3 years, a senior defense official has been enjoying a salary at home while on suspension, despite being cleared of wrongdoing. Yeah. Here we've got a Facebook entry of sea turtle hatchlings on St. Lucia Beach. It sort of calms one down under the pressure that we live under. Despite that is best for us, despite not turning us into the next Iran, this man tells us that the nuke program will go ahead. Gigaba, Baba, I'm telling you right now, I'm looking you in the eye. If you enslave our children, there won't be a crevice deep enough for you or the Guptas or anybody that's supporting this to hide in. we will be coming after you. It will be the fury of hellhounds that we will release on you. Don't enslave our children. Don't enslave our children. Don't enslave our children. Yeah, Julius, you have now the whites against you on the 6th, and you have to stand up against Zuma and the Guptas on the 7th. You've divided your forces. You're no strategist, my friend. Even the ANC Chief Whip, Jackson Matembu, we are hurt by the removal of Gordon and Jonas. Galema says the ANC doesn't want members to vote because they want arranged leadership. A message: Nelson Mandela left democratic South Africa right at the beginning of our democracy. If the ANC does to you what the apartheid government did to you, then you must do to the ANC what you did to the apartheid government. Nelson Mandela, 1994. Congress of Kusatu. We are coming for you, Guptas and Zuma. The nation is coming for you. This is the cash and transit vehicle that was blown up on the highway amongst ordinary citizens yesterday morning. It's no longer between white and black. The conflict is between the people that want to hijack South Africa and its riches and the South Africans. We have to stand together. The riches of South Africa has, how can I put it, not the rich people, but the coffers of South Africa has lost 86 billion rand in one day because the Guptas told Jacob Zuma to fire Pravin Gordhan. 86 billion rand could have eradicated poverty in this country for at least 2 generations. And with this is BierPens for Viers signing off. See you guys on Friday on the streets. The mass actions against the firing of Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan. Jacob Zuma must go. The Guptas must go.